All right, so you get it. You see what AI can do, you've heard all the buzz, but now what? How do you actually get this stuff working in your station without causing a total mess? That's what we're talking about today. We're getting past the what if and right into the how-to. Let's get into it.
Now, before we jump in, just a heads up. This is part 17 of our big 20-part series. It's all based on this incredible report, Generative AI for AM/FM broadcast professionals from Virtualization Options LLC. Today, we're zeroing in on a really critical chapter, the one all about implementation.
Okay, let's just put it out there. You're sold on the idea of AI. You're ready to go. But where do you even start? Seriously, what is the very first thing you need to do to make sure this whole thing works and doesn't just, blow up in your face? That's the question, and we've got the answer.
And the answer, believe it or not, isn't about buying some fancy software or just letting people experiment. Nope. The absolute foundation, the place you have to start, is by creating your AI playbook. We're talking about a formal policy.
So what does that even mean, an AI playbook? Well, think of it as the official rules of the road for your station. These are your station-specific AI guidelines. It's a formal policy that gets everyone on the same page. I mean everyone, from your morning show host to the sales team. The whole point is to make sure people are using these tools consistently, appropriately, and, this is the big one, responsibly. You're basically setting up the guardrails before anyone gets on the highway.
And look, this can't be some vague one-page memo. It has to get specific. You need to spell out exactly when and how your team can use AI. You have to have a mandatory review process. A human being has to sign off on AI-generated content before it ever sees the light of day. You absolutely need a list of prohibited uses, the don't even think about it section, to keep you out of hot water. And, super important, who does someone talk to when they have a question? And how are we protecting our data? You've got to lock that down from the start.
But here's the thing. A playbook is totally useless if it just gathers dust on a server somewhere, right? It's not about the document itself, it's about the people. This is where we move from policy to practice. You've got to bring your entire team into the fold.
It really boils down to this simple three-step loop. 1. Share the guidelines. Everywhere. Make sure everyone has seen them. 2. Train everybody. And I don't just mean reading the rules out loud. You have to explain the why behind them. And 3, this is crucial, you have to keep it updated. AI is changing by the week, so your playbook has to be a living, breathing document that evolves with it.
Okay, so we're excited, we have a plan, but let's be real for a second. Being smart about AI means knowing where the landmines are. A good plan isn't just about the cool stuff you can do, it's about avoiding the things that can go wrong.
Yeah, this picture really hits the nail on the head. Of course, AI is about efficiency, right? It's about turning those gears faster. But you can't let that efficiency crush what makes your station special. Your quality, your personality, it's this constant balancing act between the machine and the human touch. That's the challenge.
So what are the red flags you should be watching out for? Well, number 1 is over-reliance. Is your team starting to just trust the AI without thinking? Are they losing their own critical judgment? Another huge one. Is your content starting to sound generic? Is that unique character of your station getting watered down? And you got to watch out for people taking shortcuts on compliance just because the tool makes it easy. If you see these things happening, it's a huge warning sign that you've tipped too far in one direction. All of this, the playbook, the training, the risks, it all leads to the most important piece of the puzzle. This is the core philosophy. This isn't about the tech, really. It's about how you view the relationship between that tech and your people.
And I really want to let this quote sink in, because it comes straight from the report and it is everything. The most important insight about AI's future in broadcasting isn't about technology, it's about people. Just let that sit for a second. If you remember one thing, let it be that. This idea has to be the bedrock of your entire approach.
Look, the point here is not to replace talented people. Not at all. The goal is to augment them, to give them superpowers. You want to use AI to make your team smarter, faster, more creative, more strategic. It's a tool to make your people better, not to make them obsolete. It's about amplifying that human connection with your audience, not erasing it.
So, let's wrap with this. The big question for you and your station isn't really if you're going to use AI. That train has left the station. The real question is how. How are you going to use it to unleash your team's creativity, to sharpen their strategy? And most importantly, how are you going to use it to make your station sound even more human for the people who tune in every single day?